into how currencies are reacting on that shutdown. Nick Twidale from ATFX joining me. No surprise, a weaker dollar.
Yes, but not as much as you would think given the current circumstances. I mean, especially those ADP numbers, they were much, much lower than expected. Plus a US government shutdown, and we seem to have just kind of wiped it away almost. I think in the end the dollar index actually closed slightly up on the day.
Oh.
It's a really interesting situation. Normally today I'd be talking about non-farm payrolls with you, but we can't do that.
Yeah, so we're looking at the Aussie dollar here, not the Canadian dollar, but the Aussie dollar there still holding around 66 cents, I think.
Yeah, it's holding really nicely around 66 cents, and it's still kind of in that longer term up channel, which is what we've seen with the dollar being hit across the board. I think it's still bid on dips at the moment. I think there's big options interest around 66 cents at the moment, and that's kind of keeping it tied there. We're going to need, and it wouldn't surprise me if we get something in the next couple of days that shakes it within these ranges, especially from the US side of the equation with a government shutdown, as we said, and no anticipated jobs numbers that we would have been looking forward to.
Yeah, all right, so let's move on then from the Aussie then to what we've been seeing. Maybe let's go to sterling, because that has been also holding up okay against the greenback.
Yeah, both sterling and Aussie, and cable's been doing really nicely as well. And there's been a few bits of data and a few updates that things don't look particularly settled back in the UK, but cable's done really nicely. As you can see there, you can see where overnight it did, the dollar took a hit and it moved up, but it recovered nicely, which is why I was saying the dollar index actually finished slightly up on the day. So we're sitting mid-range in all these major currencies, and I think we were really looking at these jobs numbers that we were getting this week, and we kind of got half filled, didn't we? We got jolts on Tuesday, and then we got the ADP last night, and now we're not going to get any future data. But that ADP is a real front runner normally for non-farms, so you would expect we're going to see lower numbers when we eventually get to see them.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, we've had the Bank of Canada strap up a couple of times. Tell us what's happening with the loonie.
They have. Well, loonie, I threw loonie in today because oil has been absolutely smashed over the last 3 or 4 days with oversupply concerns really coming in. And that move, this is one of the few currencies where we have seen the dollar appreciate. It's taken a real good step up over the last few days, sitting just underneath that key 140 level. And this is one of the currencies I think we could see a big move in over the next few days. Whether we see a rally back in oil, the geopolitical concerns were really hitting oil prices earlier last week and early this week. A breakout to the top side could come, especially if we see lower oil prices, which OPEC Plus are doing a lot to help with. Conversely, that dollar issue that feels like it's just waiting to happen. I think the market's kind of saying they're going to come to a solution, read the government shutdown, everything goes back to normal. If that doesn't happen, and if it takes a few more days, expect dollar CAD to drop back into that range.
Well, of course, a lot of the focus has been on safe havens as well. We know gold setting another fresh record, but what is the Japanese yen doing?
Yen's appreciated nicely as well, so we've seen some good moves there. There's talk as well. We've got the big prime ministerial election over the weekend. There is a lot of talk in the Japanese banks that we will see a hike from them later this month even. And if we do that, that should strengthen the yen. Haven properties of the yen are attractive as well. So at the moment, certainly in dollar yen, and we've seen that good move down from that sort of 150 level. I think we could challenge that lower support level.
All right, Nick, always a pleasure. Thank you so much getting us across all the big currency moves, particularly as we pretty much, as you say, don't pay much attention to the US government shutdown. We've seen it before, haven't we?
We have, yeah.
All right, Nick Twidale from ATFX. That does it for this edition of The Trade. Be sure to join us next time.